I'm recording this in December, as you can see from the tablecloth. So I'm not sure really when this is going to go up on YouTube. But I just recently was made aware of this Dungeon23. I can get things right sometimes. Dungeon23 shared project, I guess, amongst nerds across the internet, on Twitter, as long as it lasts, and elsewhere. And it's making a dungeon room a day for the year of 2023. That's the name, Dungeon23. And I'm not a big D&D guy. I'm not a big dungeon crawl guy. RPGs, I love them, but fantasy's not my thing. You know, whatever. And I know that you can do dungeons in science fiction that, like the haunted house, running around through the ship in Alien is essentially going through one of these things. Okay, no problem. But I decided I want to try it. I want to have fun. And I think it could be a really fun project, and it's really low pressure. You know, one room a day. If you don't have a lot of time, that room can just be empty. It's fine. The idea is, in part, that at the end you'll have a 365 room dungeon with, I think it's 12 levels, because the idea of doing each month, roughly, switching over to a new level. But also, as everybody pointed out, it's your project. You don't have to do it that way if you don't want to. And I don't intend to do that. I will probably be doing smaller increments, either 7 room ones for a week, or perhaps 31 rooms for a month. So I might come out of this with somewhere between 12 and 52 smaller dungeons. That way I also won't necessarily get bored, because I would like to keep certain things on theme. So I might have a theme for 7 or 8 days, and then switch to a new theme, and not worry about interconnecting them. And I know that I could still interconnect them and call it a fun house dungeon, whatever. But I kind of want these to end up being practical and useful for me in, like, say, Dungeon Crawl Classics, or in some solo stuff like 4 Against Darkness or something like that. And I will be using some tools. I brought out a couple. 4 Against Darkness is one of them. I may use that to roll on to come up with rooms. I may look to inspiration from this Courtship of the Flower Demons, which is a supplement for 4 Against Darkness. It's into, like, weird plant magic. And, Fantasy Tome of Lists, Volume 1, 2. And I have other stuff that I will draw on, no doubt. Some of the stuff I've talked about in previous videos about using random charts. But I decided I wanted to get a specific notebook, specific type of notebook. The original idea came from, I think his name's Sean McCoy. I don't have it in front of me right now, but he's a guy who designed Mothership, and had tweeted out a thing, and, I found out about it through Questing Beast, and then everybody else was talking about it, so I was going to find out about it one way or another. But thank you to Questing Beast on that. But I guess Sean McCoy had recommended a specific journal, and that journal is more expensive than I'm willing to pay. And he's clear. That's not what you have to use. It's just what he wants to use, and it's set up, and I get it. But I'm not paying like $35 for a day planner for a year. That's just not something I'm going to do. So I found these fairly inexpensively. I think it was $15 for 2 hardcovers. They are just graph notebooks. I love that it said it was for women, and the only reason I think it said it was for women is because one of them is a sort of pinkish coral color, and that's just, like, classic. But it's, I don't know how much this will show up, but it is just square graph paper. And yeah, it's got plenty of room. What I think I will do is do a 2-page spread, write room descriptions over here, and do the rooms over here. That's, I suspect, how I will end up laying this out. I saw a video recommending, and I think it was, a good idea, recommending doing a count of how many lines there are so you can see how much room you want to set aside for each room in the dungeon for description. So if there were 25, say this were 25 rows and I was only doing, 5 rooms or something like that, then I would give myself 5 lines per room. So it's not 25, I'm not doing 5, but, something like that. So it might end up being 3 or 6 or whatever lines that I'll set aside and block out, and that'll be room 1. I've got that much space to describe what's in it. Room 2, etc. So I'm going to probably do that. Which means I got to find a ruler because there's no way I'm going to trace those lines properly. But anyway, so that's my goal. I think it'll be easy to just keep this book on me. I travel usually with at least a couple of notebooks. Pardon me. It's first thing in the morning. I'm still a little sleepy and a little dry from the evening. But it'll be easy to keep this with me. Just toss it in with the rest of my notebooks. Even if I'm traveling, even if I don't have my toolkits with me, I can just do a few empty rooms. That'll be easy enough. I'm sure I can come up with an idea without all the toolkits. It's just they're nice to spark the imagination. So I think that this could be a fun project. Will I stick with it for all of 2022? I don't know. Or 2023? I don't even know what year it is. So I certainly don't know. Well, it is 2022 while I'm recording this, but not when you're hearing it. I don't know what the future brings, but if I get 3 or 4 months out of it, or less, I might have some useful dungeons to use in Dungeon Crawl Classics. And I will have sparked some ideas. And that's part of it for me. I want something to keep my brain active and keep sparking ideas because I find that translates into helping me with my writing. If I wake up in the morning and I do 15 minutes on designing a room, maybe while I'm drinking my coffee, then my brain is a little more awake than it would have been otherwise. And that will be a big help for when I actually start to write for the day. And if 2022 has proven anything, it's that I could really use that kind of help and focus first thing in the morning to get more writing done. So that's my goal. Dungeon23. It's a hashtag. If hashtags still work, Twitter still exists. I'll probably be putting it on Twitter at least until that burns down. I don't know where it will end up later. And we'll see. I might put it on my Facebook author page. Probably not. I probably won't put it there. But, and I may record some videos, certainly not more than weekly, but probably, honestly, not more than monthly, where maybe I'll go over what I have done up to that point. But because of the way I record videos, I can't tell you when they would be coming out. Typically, I record several videos. I wait a little while, and then I download them from my phone onto a computer. Then I wait a little longer, and then I schedule posts. So that's why you'll sometimes see videos a month or more after I've recorded them. And this one, I'm sure, will be seen probably, I'm guessing not before middle of January. So I'm using my thing to speak to the future. Have a good day. Take care.